So this means that Monday would be the 19th.
Monday is the 5th anniversary of the massacre at Columbine High School in Colorado.
It doesn't take long to bring back the terror.
They just started coming in the library and opening fire and shooting off bombs. The two guys were around and they were shooting people left and right.
And then after they shoot up something, they go, woo!
12 Columbine students and a teacher killed at the high school in suburban Denver. This student described what he saw.
I said, if you're
So it was the 19th. I have it time and time again listed as the 20th. Oh my.
It remains the worst school shooting in U.S. history. 7 times. ABC News. In Pittsburgh, a man whose son was killed with an assault weapon in the Columbine High School shootings showed up at the NRA convention. He wanted keynote speaker Vice President Dick Cheney to push for extending the assault weapons ban. Tom Bowser was removed from the convention. Catcalls from conventioneers of "get a life" and "vote for Bush." Officials in Nevada.
Now 4:23:04 on Friday.
First, you were on the air with us. Hi there.
Hi,
Hi. Where are you?
I'm in Phoenix, Arizona.
Well, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you. I just wanted to first thank you for such a wonderful show. I just got into it about a month ago. My boyfriend introduced me to it.
Good for him. Yay.
Yeah. So I stay up late at night now, and I
Marry that guy.
wasn't married.
Marry that guy.
First of all, I wanted to actually make a comment about what you had said earlier about the U.S. not being attacked because we're armed, and I kind of disagree with that. I was actually raised in Canada, and Canadian citizens cannot own firearms like U.S. citizens can. It's not their right as citizens, and that country never seems to be, no one seems to want to attack that country, and there's no one in that country that owns any arms. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's necessarily that people are scared to attack the United States because they're armed. I think it's just such a superpower that they just stand no chance if they were ever to try to attack the country.
You know what I'm saying? But Canada does not do that we do here in the United States. We tend to get involved in a lot of people's business, whether we should or not. Canada really doesn't do that. And so when I meant one of the reasons we haven't been attacked here, and I'm not talking about terrorist attacks, but I'm talking about full-fledged troops are plopped down here, and, you know, the armies are running amok all over this country. I think that they would have a very difficult time trying to do that. It's not to say that one day, you know, we may wake up one morning and find out that, 20,000 Chinese have popped up on the shore somewhere or have come through Mexico. Who knows? But I just think a militia with so many millions of people out there with guns and rifles, that they would have a heck of a time occupying this country for a long time.
Oh, I agree 100%. And like I had such a time when I was talking to him earlier, Canada's army is nothing like the U.S. military. It's more of a peacekeeping army, and they tend to go into countries to keep the peace alive, and that's what the Army in Canada stands for. I mean, we don't have the weaponry that the U.S. Army does, and I don't think we ever will. But I think our mission with the Canadian Army is much different than what the U.S. Army has to offer. I'm actually from the Middle East, and I was born in Baghdad, and so I was talking to Tom about the war going on and how wonderful it is that they've taken out a dictator like Saddam Hussein, and how I'm just very impressed. And actually, when I started listening to your show, the first thing I picked up on was your last name, and I had asked Tom, is he Middle Eastern? And he said yes, and so that's another thing that's got me hooked, because I just think that it's so amazing how a lot of Middle Eastern individuals can come into North America and do so well, but at the same time not forget their roots. And I just want to thank you for your show, and I just want to say thank you to Linda as well, because my boyfriend has gotten me into a lot of her readings, and I'm just very intrigued about the subject that she covers, and I'm hoping that within the months to come that I'm definitely going to learn a lot more and hopefully be a little more educated about the topics that you guys discuss in the evenings together.
Good for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate your phone call. And marry that guy.
Yeah, I'll try. And I just want one last note, George. I want to say I'm sorry about the Red Wings losing against the Calgary Flames.
I knew you would do that. Thanks.
Hi, I just want to say it's a pleasure to talk to you. I just recently started listening, and you're touching on a lot of subjects actually I've believed in. And I just want to thank you for talking about it.
We're glad you're a member.
Actually, on the subject of how you feel, it's true, it would be hard for a country to come and attack us because most of us are armed. But the only other effect to that is, if you ever notice when, say we lose electricity or anything like that, the American people have been so denatured, actually, that we seem to almost be like sheep. And if we start to lose the things that we used to, we don't know what to do, and we kind of almost huddle together. There are going to be the militias who are ready for that. There would be the front, but there would be the majority of Americans who just wouldn't know what to do because they have been so denatured against that. It's almost like that catch-22 on either side.
Well, I tell you what, though, it would be the American public that helped, because I don't think we could amass enough troops inside.
I'm ready to help.
Something like that happen.
I'm ready.
This is true, yeah.
But
there's going to be a lot of people. There's going to be basically the sheep and the wolves, and we'll all protect each other. I mean, that's automatic because as a country we're going to just stick together anyway. But it's true that because we are armed, yes, we all basically have the. I mean, I don't know what the percentage of how many households have arms. I know I have arms, and I would definitely fight if anything was attacked. I mean, I'm going to protect everything around me. Not doing anything.
No question about it. As a matter of fact, thanks for your call. I think Missouri just finally, through their legislature, they had voted several years ago, and the majority decided they didn't want this. But I think you have concealed weapons now in Missouri, and what that is you apply for the right to carry a concealed handgun on your body, not in your car, but on your person. And there are some restrictions on where you can take that gun, but studies have shown that crime goes down in areas where concealed weapons have been approved, because, I've always contended, Linda, that the crook is going to be armed anyway. So if he thinks for a moment there's a possibility that the good guy has got something, he generally may not do what he's going to do, or at least the guy can defend himself this time.
Well, God bless us. May we not have to go into some kind of civil unrest unless,
A lot of states have passed laws to carry concealed weapons, and little towns, too.
It's almost incomprehensible to think this country could be pushed that far.
Wild card line, welcome to Coast to Coast. You're on.
Yes. Hey, I got a little rant on something, a little thought I had.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay, anyways, you figure, they talk about the secret societies, and also we're talking about, like, all the bunkers that are being built and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are they going to benefit? The bunkers.
The rich and the elite.
Right. The handful of the elite, they'll be the ones that'll be able to get in the bunkers and that, right?
I agree.
So what if whatever the big cataclysm that's going to be, in other words, and they all get into the bunkers and basically shut their door on their brothers, everybody else, regular people. I mean, how much bad karma does that generate?
Lots.
Right. So then, what if whatever's been predicted as this bad thing then doesn't even happen? And you look at like the Sunday school text of what hell is, down in the ground. Maybe that's
the way of putting the genie in the bottle, and
Let's keep them down there.
Yes.
right, and then and then the good, whatever the good force or good consciousness is, will then be able to straighten things out from there.
Problem is, I have a feeling
Keep 'em
that
locked
when they
in.
head for the bunkers, the calamity, whatever it could be, will already be underway. And I don't think they're going to go down there now and then nothing happens and we have them trapped. I think something will happen. If an asteroid hits us, for example, without notice, all the bunkers in the world aren't going to help them. I don't think we're going to have that kind of time. We'll be back in a moment with us. Hi there.
Hi.
Yeah.
I have a comment and then a question for Linda, and I love you guys. You are like the ultimate spirit warriors. Well, thank you. And I had heard just a little bit about the commercial about the man who said he thought he saw someone watching through the television.
Yeah.
I knew someone in the ATF, and they told me that through fiber optics, it is possible they can activate any television that's hooked up to cable. And the reason, how you can tell is when the television, when you turn it off, it works with the phosphorus gases, and he gave me this long explanation that I don't totally understand all of it.
Maybe with the new fiber optic cable.
Yes, they can. And
I got rid of the cable.
it leaves like a phosphorus green
Kick them
glow
out.
after you
Fire.
turn the television off. It will dissipate. It doesn't just automatically go off.
So Big Brother 1984 can come into our houses whether we know it or not.
Absolutely. And that's why I have a projector screen big TV, because it can't work that way, because it's a projector style and works differently.
Good point.
But my comment is, I'm kind of a hippie, kind of. And I'm Native American, and I was thinking, why not, if passively, I was the one that made the comment about the class action lawsuit usurping the authority of democracy, which I know could never be done. So why couldn't we passively just sell all of our assets and get whatever supplies, get everything that we could get together, and then claim sovereign citizenship, give them back their Social Security number, say we will not pay taxes, and we just go live in colonies as it was when we first came all to this country and do it passively.
I don't think you're going to get a level. Well, you might get some people who end up going back to that kind of lifestyle again. That may be entirely possible. I don't think you get a lot of people, though, to give up everything. Would you want to give up everything and go live in a commune somewhere?
I don't think so. It's like trying to rewind time, or what is it? It's the opposite. If you have Humpty Dumpty and the egg falls off and crashes on the floor, which is what a lot of people are feeling is happening in this country right now, how do you put all those pieces back together and make it as perfect as it was before everything fell apart?
You can't, can you?
Well,
once it falls apart,
this is the issue, I guess.
It's a long time.
We're all facing.
Long time. Hey, thanks for that, though. You bring up an interesting scenario. Wild card line, you're...
Very interesting. Actually, 4/25/04 Sunday.
You are on the air. Hello.
Hi, this is Michael in Norfolk, Virginia.
Hey, Michael.
Listen, tonight's guest is interesting not only from the standpoint that he speaks about aliens in no-nonsense terms,
right,
but also from the standpoint that he is a former Bohemian Grove insider who rubbed shoulders with all the people that Art and his panel were talking about on Thursday night.
That would have been George.
Yeah.
I mean George, I'm sorry.
Right.
And here's the thing.
And the panel was Jim Mars, Alex Jones, Stephen Quayle, and Linda Howe.
That show Thursday was a number 10 on the Richter scale in terms of excitement, just the energy of the program.
Yes.
That doesn't necessarily mean that the content was the best program that was ever done, but...
Well, what about you? Are you a believer in these massive secret societies?
Well, Look, I think Linda Moulton Howe put her finger on it. You know, it's your finger I want. Well, I'm telling you, I agree with what she said in putting her finger on it. That these things evolved from the danger of holding political and religious views in past centuries. And people had to develop these societies to protect themselves. But Mulcher, tonight's guest, he reminds me of former Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara. I mean, just in terms of his energy, personality, style, and his analytical view on this.
Yes, his name is George Green. Going to be on a little later.
And I remember, I think it was on Larry King's radio show when Robert McNamara was on there. He talked about the philosophy behind their setup at the Bohemian Grove. He said he wanted to get world leaders into an atmosphere where they would let their hair down, where they would be comfortable and relaxed. And I like the reason that he gave for it.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Well,
have a couple of beers and divide up the world.
No. He said because, look, we have been at our throat. This man went through the Cuban Missile Crisis, you understand. He was in the center of it. And he said, look, we have got to find a way to talk. Now, I'm not discrediting George's guest from Thursday night, but basically, we have to address the question, can we have world peace without some kind of global organization?
Well, probably not.
Well, of course not. Of course not. And that's what was missing in Thursday night's program.
What about the UN? Wouldn't that qualify?
Well, wouldn't it qualify? Look,
I mean, as an international body.
Well, we had the Cuban Missile Crisis with the UN there. We had the World War II with the predecessor of the UN there.
Yeah.
No, we've got to go deeper. We've got to go deeper, and we've got to look for men like George Green, men like Chuck Missler, a born-again Christian.
All right, well, this is all pretty good promo, and I appreciate it for tonight's up-and-coming guest. I've not talked with him yet, so it does look interesting indeed. West of the Rocky